I'm the German?
Those innocent children didn't do anything, dude.
Did you just call me a Nazi?
You are. If you're supporting Israel, yeah.
I'm a Nazi?
So, look, they did a Holocaust, which is...
And you called other people fundamentalists?
The terrorist state of Israel.
You just called me a Nazi?
Hey, Rabbi, can I...
this is a sad day. This is a sad day for you, Cenk. Cenk, this is a sad day for you.
No,
just for your credibility, take it back. I'm begging you. Not for me. For your credibility, just take it back.
I'm not going to take it back.
This is a sad day for you. I don't care what Piers Morgan wants. I don't care what Daniela Weiss wants. I don't care what Cenk Uygur wants. I don't care what Rabbi Shmuley wants.
To lead.
The people of Gaza have not, don't speak for them.
You think you own everything.
Go ahead,
you don't own everything, Rabbi Shmuley. You don't own the American government. You don't own the American people. By the way, what is America going to get? It's just $300 billion back. We gave it to a bunch of criminals to murder children.
This might just be the most explosive debate you'll see this weekend or this entire month. Piers Morgan brings together two firecrackers, Cenk Uygur, never one to bite his tongue, and Rabbi Shmuley, a man so proudly pro-Israel he makes Netanyahu look like a moderate. Now imagine these two colliding over war crimes, babies, bombing campaigns, and historical revisionism, while Piers just watches it burn. What you're about to witness is more than just a shouting match. It's no filter face-off where one guest throws out the comparison so outrageous it'll leave your jaw on the floor, and the other tries to defend the indefensible with numbers that even a high schooler with a Wi-Fi could debunk in seconds. If you've ever wondered what happens when emotional truth smashes headfirst into political spin, this is the conversation you can't afford to miss. Sit tight, because this isn't just about Israel and Gaza anymore. It's about how far people will justify the unjustifiable. Let's jump into it.
That Israel is a terrorist state. I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested in supporting it. I'm not interested in having them steal more Arab land. And I said to you, Piers, a long time ago, that this was never about self-defense. This was about taking Gaza. Well, I was right. I've been proven right by Netanyahu and their terrorist government. I called them terrorists, and I said that they would kill more civilians than Hamas. Are you kidding me? They've now, get a load of this fact. Hamas killed 815 civilians on October 7th. Terrible. We've all condemned it 1,000 times. Now, Israel has killed 870 Palestinians under the age of 1. They have killed more Palestinian babies than Hamas killed civilians on October 7th. And every time it's a justification. No, we talked to God. God told us to steal Arab land. God told us to murder Arab children. What kind of sick state is this? When I saw her and smiling, like you said, and smirking, now when I see a lot of these Israeli leaders, I feel like I'm looking at Germans telling us, no, it's okay. We can do this to the Jews. There's going to be no consequences. And their smugness partly, Piers, has to do with the fact that they think we own America. There's nothing you can do. We control the largest military in the history of the world. We can get them to do whatever we want because AIPAC has bought the entire U.S. government. And she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I mean, today Trump is talking about, yeah, you're not going to get the Epstein files. You're not going to get anything. We're occupied. We're all Palestinians now.
Rabbi Shmuley, I mean, when you listened to that interview with Daniela Weiss, what did you feel about it?
Piers, thank you for having me on. And having had a surprisingly civil debate at Oxford University with my brother Cenk, I'm actually going to excuse his hyperbole of calling Jews Nazis and stick to the facts, because you were right, Piers. In your discussion with Daniela,
stop
she should have
smearing Jews.
No, Cenk, please don't. Okay, you're already interrupting me. Just be civil, please. We had a civil debate at Oxford. Let's try to continue. We shook hands afterward. Hundreds of thousands of people said how much they enjoyed watching us shake hands. Let's be human a little bit. I'm going to do what you said, Piers, and stick to the facts. Number one, Cenk just said that Israel killed so many more civilians that were killed on October 7th. 45,000 Britons died in the Battle of Britain when the Luftwaffe and Hermann Goering, bombed London, Northampton to smithereens. But Churchill killed 700,000 German children. He killed 3 million German civilians. That was terrible. But here's my question to you, Piers. Outside of Parliament is a giant statue of Churchill as the greatest statesman in the history of Britain. Was Churchill a war criminal, yes or no?
No, Churchill wasn't a war criminal. In fact, Matthew, I saw you shaking your head.
Okay. He wasn't. Okay. You said facts. You said facts.
Well, hang on. If you're going to make statements like Churchill,
45. Wait.
Your numbers aren't correct about the number of civilians who died. Never mind anything else.
Yes, they are. There were 3 million German civilians killed by Britain, and by the United States. There were 70,000 Japanese killed on a single day in Hiroshima and then Nagasaki. Half of them were children, 35,000. Was Harry Truman a war criminal? Was Roosevelt a war? If you are prepared to say, Piers, based on facts and based on what Cenk just said, that the proportion of civilians to combatant deaths determines whether you're a war criminal. And by the way, Churchill killed 5 civilians for every 1 German combatant. The United States in Fallujah killed 4 civilians in Fallujah in Iraq for every 1 terrorist Iraqi combatant. So was George W. Bush a war criminal? Was Tony Blair a criminal? If you're prepared to at least be consistent and say that, yes,
well, yeah, I think Bush and Blair were war criminals.
3 million. Was Churchill... Okay, do you think that Winston Churchill was a war criminal? It's a yes or no question.
No.
The same way you put it to Danielle, yes or no?
Churchill, well, let me let...
So Churchill can kill 3 million
All right, you've asked a
Germans,
question.
but that's okay?
You've asked a question. Matthew.
I think it's a completely coherent and fair question. It's about means and ends. Is the means justified to achieve a given end? For what it's worth, I think that consequentialist approach is legitimate. I think that Truman was justified in the atomic bombs. I say that reluctantly. But I think there would have been many more deaths had the Second World War not been brought to an end in that way. I know some people will disagree with that position. However,
okay, so you're one of the most fair person. Wait a second. So you're one of the most fair person that I've ever spoken to about on this show. All I'm saying is, let's be clear. Piers, God weeps for every Palestinian child, the 20,000 children. I don't know if it's 20,000, but even if it is, weeps for every one. One was too many. But every Arab child is the equal of a Jewish child. But whose responsibility is it? Who builds? I live in a community here in New York, New Jersey. There is no army base near me. Why are the Hamas headquarters in nurseries? Why does Hamas use these children to die so that you will then point the finger? Now, even Hitler did not do that. The German military headquarters were not built in kindergartens. And let me say one final thing, Piers, if I may. Piers, you know what struck me about your interview with Daniela Weiss? You did not once ask her, what do the people of Gaza want? I don't care what Piers Morgan wants. I don't care what Daniela Weiss wants. I don't care what Cenk Uygur wants. I don't care what Rabbi Shmuley wants.
To lead.
The people of Gaza don't speak for them in the same way I won't. They have not had a vote since 2005 when Hamas took the leaders of the PLO, the Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas, and threw their opponents off the roofs and killed them. Then Hamas abolished all elections. Now, I want the people of Gaza to vote. Do you want to remain in that tiny hovel where you don't have a backyard, where any money that's given to Hamas, if it's rebuilt, will be, again, it'll go to tunnels? Remember that the Hamas got triple the Marshall aid per capita per Palestinian, and they didn't build one bomb shelter, they didn't build one school, they didn't build one university, they just built tunnels and rockets. Ask the people so Piers, let me ask you, why did you ask...
May I say to the rabbi, forgive me for persisting here,
decide where they want to live.
But the rabbi did say, I think legitimately, that he had been interrupted and he didn't like it. I was halfway through the point that I was making, if I may say so, when you jumped in. I said that I thought Truman was justified in ending the Pacific War. I think Churchill was justified in trying to end the war in Europe. What I don't understand, and I think a lot of people who are instinctively pro-Israel do not understand, are where are the sunlit uplands on the other side of the evisceration of Gaza? I've been told by senior Israeli officials, confidentially, that young Gazans, Palestinians and people across the Middle East are being radicalised, that these dead Hamas fighters are being replaced at a rate of 5 to 1. This isn't going to affect Israel for the next 5 months or 5 years, but for the next 50 years. And how on earth is flattening Gaza going to help the protection of Israel when their funders are in Tehran?
No, I agree.
The image, and let me just make one final point. In the medium term, I say to the rabbi, and I say this with great sincerity, the image of Israel, I don't want to superficialise it, but the brand of Israel, that liberal democracy in a tough neighbourhood which sits unconsciously behind Western support and has done since the Second World War, has been obliterated, shattered into a million pieces. The next generation of American leaders are going to grow up where the most salient image in their minds is not going to be the Holocaust, as it is for our generation. It's going to be emaciated Gazan children dying in their thousands, being starved via a blockade. I say to you, I understand why Israelis and Jews rallied around Netanyahu after October the 7th. Who wouldn't after an atrocity of that kind? But I believe you've been goaded into an overreaction that will reverberate through history of great strategic disadvantage to a country I want to do well.
I see you.
All right, and before I let Rabbi Shmuley respond, before you respond, Rabbi Shmuley, I just wanted to pick you up on the statistics that you regaled at the start of that, which I think you said that the British killed 3 million German civilians, including 300,000 children. Is that what you said?
A 5-to-1 combatant to civilian
just to be
ratio.
clear, you said 3 million, and of which 300,000 were children. That's what you said, right?
Right.
It's
the British decimated Cologne, they decimated Berlin, they decimated Hamburg, they decimated Dresden. In Dresden, they killed 30,000 in one night, etc.
Let me finish my point. You were completely wrong. You were wildly exaggerating the number of civilians killed by the British bombing campaigns, the Allied bombing campaigns. It's estimated between 350 and 500,000 German civilians were killed in total by Allied bombing in World War II. And I would also add this. At the end of
500,000. Okay,
let me finish my...
I'm just gonna pause here real quick, I promise. Rabbi Shmuley really pulled out the Winston Churchill card like it was some kind of get-out-of-genocide free pass, as if calling "but Churchill did it" was going to magically justify Israel's actions today. Except he got the numbers so wrong, Piers had to stop the show and hand him a statistical spanking right there on live TV. I mean, you can't just make up a few million extra dead civilians with children debate. Rabbi, this ain't Monopoly, and those aren't get-out-of-Geneva Convention clauses. It's wild watching someone try to defend civilian bombings by comparing it to other civilian bombings, like trying to put out fire with gasoline and yelling, "But London burned too." This was the moment Shmuley turned from rabbi to revisionist, and Piers, to his credit, finally grew a backbone and called the bluff. Honestly, if Shmuley keeps citing fake stats like that, someone get him a job at Fox News.
I said 700,000.
Let me finish my point. Let me finish my
right.
point. So it was a sixth of what you said, in fact. But the wider point is we brought in the Geneva Convention at the end of World War II specifically to address the issues of mass civilian casualties in World War II. The UK signed up to that. Most countries of the world signed up to Geneva. Israel is a signatory to the Geneva Convention, and yet it breaches regularly the Geneva Convention, including, many believe, what they're now doing as a government in Gaza.
I don't know how you could possibly say. By the way, I don't have the advantage of having researchers behind me or having a laptop. So can you ask your researchers how many German children did Churchill kill? That's what I want to know exactly.
Well, no, I've given you your chance to spew statistics. You were completely wrong.
How many children?
You were completely
how many
wrong.
German children who were totally innocent? No, 1 second. You said that Churchill killed 700,000.
Can I jump
and now
in?
you said that Israel killed 40 or 50,000. Doesn't that make Churchill a much bigger war criminal than Netanyahu? Yes or no, Piers?
No, he's not a war criminal. Churchill's not a war criminal.
Why? He killed 700,000 civilians. Why?
Why aren't you answering my point?
You won't answer my point. If Netanyahu is a war criminal for killing 45,000 Palestinians, why is Churchill, whose statue sits outside Parliament, not a criminal for killing 8 times that amount of people? Go ahead, please.
Cenk.
And by the way, let me just tell you, Piers, you can't say the technology didn't exist because the Americans used the Norden bomb site and only did precision daytime bombing. Mr. Saeed will know that. It was Churchill who said, I will not risk a single RAF pilot. I don't care how many Germans die. I will only do indiscriminate, broad nighttime bombing. Churchill was out to decimate cities,
allow
to break
somebody
the
else
will
to speak,
of the German
please.
people. So why is he not a war criminal? You won't answer me, Piers. You won't answer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm trying to answer but all you'll do is propagandize for a bunch of terrorists. So, first of all, Piers is absolutely right. We passed those Geneva Convention laws so that we could prevent crimes against humanity, not just what the Germans did to the Jews, the Poles, the Roma, etc., but also what the Allies did in indiscriminate carpet bombing of civilian populations. So we tried to learn from the Holocaust. We tried to learn from World War II, and we all said never again. These laws should not be broken because it leads to terrible situations. Israel then said, no, we're above the law. We get to break any law we like. And now, and in the case of the Germans, they were killing 6 million Jews. They killed 13 million overall. We were trying to stop a Holocaust. In this case, Israel is the one doing the genocide and saying, well, I mean, why are you trying to stop us from killing innocent Palestinians and taking their land. Because in that analogy, you're the Germans. So the Palestinians...
I'm the German?
Those innocent children didn't do anything, dude.
Did you call me a Nazi?
You are. If you're supporting Israel... Yeah,
I'm a Nazi.
So look, they did a Holocaust, which is
and you called other people fundamentalists.
Terrorist state of Israel.
You just called me a Nazi.
Hey, Rabbi, can I?
This is a sad day. This is a sad day for you, Cenk. Cenk, this is a sad day for you. Just for your credibility, take it back. I'm begging you. Not for me.
Can I finish my sentence?
For your credibility, just take it back.
I'm not going to take it back.
This is a sad day for you.
I'm not going to take it back.
This is a sad day for you. So, this is to compare me to the SS as a Nazi. This is a sad day for you. Your credibility will never recover.
I want to invite the viewer.
I'll never recover.
So Piers, may I answer? Piers,
can I finish a sentence?
Now that I've been called a Nazi, can I respond? Piers, may I respond?
No, because I haven't finished the goddamn sentence. You think you own everything.
Go ahead,
you don't own everything, Rabbi Shmuley. You don't own the American government. You don't own the American people. By the way, when is America going to get its $300 billion back? We gave it to a bunch of criminals to murder children. Okay, you murder children with our money. Every day you take money out of my taxes. I go to work every day, and then Israel takes money out of it to murder Palestinian children. You've murdered 20,000 children already. You're the aggressors. Israel has already killed more babies than Hamas has killed civilians overall. Israel has killed a stadium full of women and children, and you are surprised that we compare you to the Germans? Omar Bartov, an Israeli-American Holocaust expert, just wrote an article in the New York Times saying that now the Israelis are doing the type of genocide that makes saying never again absurd. Absurd. Why are they doing the thing that was done to them? The world had tremendous sympathy for all Jews, and I do, all decent human beings do. But what Israel is doing is lighting that sympathy on fire and saying, we get to murder, we get to kill, and you can't call us any names. We get to call all Muslims who fight back against us terrorists. We get to attack all of our neighbors. They attacked Syria again today. We get to break all the laws. We get to commit war crimes. And I'm telling you right now, just like the Germans, you do not have the right to commit war crimes, to commit a genocide, to kill all those children, and then hide and use as a shield. Oh, everybody's an anti-Semite. You're canceled. You don't get to say it. You've ruined your credibility. No, Israel has ruined its credibility.
And there you have it. Rabbi Shmuley came in swinging World War II statistics like they were divine scripture, but ended up drowning in his own historical fiction. Piers Morgan, to his credit, pulled the plug on that fantasy real quick, exposing how inflated numbers and moral gymnastics can't clean up the bloody mess Israel is leaving in Gaza. Cenk Uygur, he brought the kind of fire that makes networks nervous and war criminals sweat. He didn't just call it the violence, he called it the gaslighting, the stolen land, the baby count math, and yes, he compared the state of Israel's current actions to the very monsters they claim to have risen from. Was it harsh? Absolutely. But sometimes the truth needs to be brutal. And what did Rabbi Shmuley do in response? He played the eternal victim card, dodged accountability, and threw a tantrum because someone finally had the guts to tell him you don't get to hide war crimes behind religion. But let's be clear though, this wasn't a debate, it was an exposure. Piers saw through the smoke. Cenk lit the match, and Rabbi Shmuley, he just failed around the Churchill quotes like they were holy water. If you made it this far, you're one of the real ones. Don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to help break through the algorithm walls they build to silent voices like mine. Here's the question of the day though. Did Rabbi Shmuley walk into this debate unprepared, or was he just hoping no one would challenge him on the facts? Sound off in the comments. The truth's not going nowhere. Catch you later.